Hey everyone, Todd from SideshowFX once again, and in this video I'm going to give you a whole orientation of our Premiere MIDI controller for Stream Deck devices package. Now I assume that you've gone through the PDF that was included in the download and followed the instructions on the installation there, or you've watched our installation video, and if you have not, I have the link in the description below. But once you're set up, this is the main page that you're presented with. Now I'm going to be demonstrating this on an XL device. Most of the functions are available on the 15 key, so you can follow along with no problem here. Additionally, I'll be demonstrating this on a Mac system, but all the features and functions are identical on the Windows profile. So once you've gone through the whole process and you're all set up and ready to go, this is the main page that you're going to be presented with. Now let me open up Premiere here. So I have the track mixer open along with our timeline. So on the main page of the Stream Deck, you notice this row of keys are our track selection keys. So what this allows us to do is select any particular track in our current project and be able to invoke a few different commands. Now the only thing with Premiere is when we do a track selection, and I'll select, let's say, our bass grit. You see it shows selected on Stream Deck, but there is no feedback on Premiere, on the Premiere interface to illustrate that that track is selected. However, if we want to select any of these keys here, whether it's right, mute, solo, they do show up on that track that is selected in the interface. In addition, this fader right here will control the volume of whatever track is selected. So right now we have our bass grit selected, and moving this fader up and down will move the fader in the interface. Let's demonstrate that with the drums. We'll solo the drums and press play. Just like that. Now the fader beside it is our master fader, of course. And you will have noticed that the fader animates along with the position of the fader in the interface itself. And of course we get the same digital readout. Now you notice that these give us access to tracks 1 through 8. Well, our project currently has 14 tracks. So how do we access the tracks 9 to 14? Well, that's where the bank buttons come in at the top here. So bank will now move our focus from tracks 1 to 8. Now will be from 7 to 14. And of course the bank button back takes us back to 1 through 8. Of course there's some transport controls at the bottom here. And we also have the ability to invoke record on our selected track. Now this button along the top here is our LCD display. It displays our current time. Now the key over here is our mixer console page. So when you enter this, we're presented with a whole new array. Now unlike the selected track page, these faders are dedicated to specific tracks. Currently this is selected for tracks 1 to 8. So of course moving the fader bars on any one of these will reflect in the application. Like so. And we also have access to all of the solos for the individual tracks. Now one thing I would like to point out here is that if you're not comfortable with how fast or slow these faders are and how they respond with the interface, that is adjustable. So if we go over to the Stream Deck software and we click on a particular fader that we would like to alter, click on either the top or the bottom, doesn't matter which one. The top, of course, moves the fader bar up, bottom moves the fader bar down. You're presented with this dialog box here. Now you have a fader speed that you can adjust. So let's move it a little faster. And you want to do the same with the top part of the same fader. Move it faster. Now we'll go back to Premiere and we adjust this fader that we just adjusted. You can see it moves a lot faster. we didn't adjust this one, so you can see the speed of this is quite slower than the one we just adjusted. So you can suit that to your own taste, and you would do that for each of these faders. Now, in addition, on this page we have a mute solo arm page, and once again each of the tracks are represented here, 1 through 8 currently, and you can select the controls for each individual track here. Next is our pan page, and this, as the name suggests, allows us to control the pan for each of the individual tracks. So we can move our pan to the right with the top key, move the pan to the left with the bottom key. Now, one additional troubleshooting note you might encounter is that occasionally you might find that the Stream Deck stops being responsive. The MIDI controls aren't working anymore, and you get error messages like this. Now, this is a known problem with how Stream Deck uses MIDI, and it hasn't been fixed yet. But there is a very simple workaround to avoid this happening, and that is you should always try and have your Stream Deck directly connected to your computer. So don't use a USB hub. Go straight from the Stream Deck into the computer, and that tends to make a much more stable MIDI connection. So if you have to go through a USB hub, you probably are going to find that this will occasionally go offline on you. So the fix to get everything back online is very simple. You just go back to Stream Deck software, go back into the store, and into plugins, search for the MIDI again, click uninstall, wait for it to do the uninstall process, and then immediately install it again. Now, you may find you'll have to restart Stream Deck. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So when you go back to your application, you'll find that things will work as they did before. And you have your functionality back. So that's a quick fix on that. But once again, the best approach is to make a direct connection from the Stream Deck to the computer and avoid using a USB hub for its connection. So hopefully you find this very useful in your workflow, and it'll help you in your studio and make things run a lot smoother and a lot quicker for you. As always, if you have any questions, go to our website, drop us a note, open up a chat window, or read through the support documents. Thanks very much for all your support. We really appreciate you guys joining us on this journey and allowing us to help make your creative lives a little easier. Until next time, thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.